Okay, so we're back. Elite Entertainment. Okay, that's Elite-Entertainment with a Z at the end. Okay, if you go on to YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like. Okay, that'd be great, and share. Today we have an icon of the British, I'd say, lovers rock era, and someone who is at the top of her game, always has been. And we've got the pleasure of interviewing her. Okay, we're just having a nice friendly chat. Okay, nothing too heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Okay, to the public, and we'll carry on with the conversation.
Okay, my name is Janet Kay. Some people know me as the Queen of Lovers Rock. And I'm here today talking to these lovely gentlemen.
I noticed that you missed out the MBE part.
Oh.
Is that? Okay, this is MBE, okay?
Janet Kay MBE.
Oh, brilliant. So, Janet, we've invited you here, obviously, to just go back in time for starters, just to hear how you got into music and what was it like growing up back in the day. Because probably there's a lot of viewers out there may not have heard of your name or probably doesn't know your history. So it'd be good for you to just go back a little bit, you know, before you got into the music.
It's going back a lot of it.
Okay.
We've got time.
You've got time. Okay, so yeah, if you just go back and obviously just explain to the people, you know,
Okay.
how you got into the.
So I'm one of the Windrush babies. My parents came here in 1957. So I grew up in the era of paraffin heaters. And, you know, I grew up in a very modest family. I was the eldest of 6. So money wasn't in abundance for us. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to a drama school. Later on, my sister did, which was good, because she's into music as well. And I was always interested in music, but then I think a lot of people are, because music is very universal. Yeah. Now, back in the day, they used to have a TV program called the I think it was the London Palladium Variety Show or something. It used to come on a Sunday. So that was pre Top of the Pops, pre any kind of music show. So that show, and I can remember watching that when I was about 5. Okay. I used to have a little red chair that I used to sit in front of the TV that was on a table.
Okay.
The TV was part of the furniture. And I used to love to watch like Shirley Bassey, Beatles, Lulu, all those kind of acts, because that was all that was available. And as I got older, you know, you listened to BBC Radio, because that was what was there, Radio Luxembourg, because that was what was there. And then later on we got Tony Williams with Reggae Time on a Sunday afternoon. And
Tony and Radigan as well? Or Tony first?
I think it was Tony first.
Tony first.
And also, oh my God, there's another gentleman, his name's gone out of my head. There was Steve Bernard, I think, had a show as well. And another gentleman, before the end of the show, hopefully I'll remember. And so I was able to listen to that. But basically what we were exposed to, my generation anyway, was just the pop. What we were getting on the radio, and the blue beat and ska records that our parents bought, and either brought from the West Indies or brought when they came over here, what they used to listen to on their gram, which is another piece of furniture.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it.
And for those of you that don't know, it's like a glorified record player, if that makes sense, where you'd spin your vinyls, but you'd also have room for drinks and have you, and space to keep your records, right? So I come from that generation. My family were very church orientated. My grandfather was a Baptist deacon. So basically the gram was the thing. Right. That's what we used to listen to all our music, or on the radio, because that's all we had. And so Lovers Rock came about, in my opinion, by, if you put the pop music the Tamla Motown music that we all used to listen to, and we used to have all the Jackson 5, well, me anyway, Jackson 5 posters on the wall, Supreme posters, Stevie
My sister had it plastered all over
everywhere. That was the wallpaper. If you put all of that, the pop music, the Motown, and the ska and the rock steady that we got from our parents, and you mix that all together, that's how Lovers Rock came about, basically.
Okay.
From a young generation, first black generation growing up in this country, in our teens.
Can I interject there?
Yeah.
How did you know that you could sing?
How did I know?
I mean, did people...
I didn't really know. I just...
Was it at school or after school?
Right, so in my infancy, I loved singing and I loved watching other people sing. And I always used to think to myself, oh, I'd really like to do that one day. But then most kids,
of course,
you know, if it's not
hairbrush.
I want to be a footballer, yeah, hairbrush, practice in the mirror and all of that. I didn't really know whether I could sing or not. I just used to sing.
Yeah.
But anyway, in school, in Girls' Brigade, I was always in the choir. I was always part of something going on that was musical. Now, when I left school, a friend of mine from school, her name's Sonia Ferguson, she did a cover version of Baby Baby.
Yeah, I've got a track.
Right. She's my best friend from school. And one day she said to me, do you want to come and listen to a band rehearse? So I said, really? In a proper rehearsal room? She said, yeah. I said, all right then. So this record shop was in Harrow Road, where they used to rehearse. They had a rehearsal room at the back of the shop called Gangsterville.
Okay.
And Tradition used to rehearse in there, and Aswad used to rehearse in there.
Wow.
So anyway, so when we got there, nobody was there yet. The mics were live. It was like, oh my God, the mics are live. And I started messing about singing on the mic. And Tony Gadd walked in with the...
Yeah.
So he didn't really say anything to me, but apparently he was either living in the same house or on the same road as Alton Ellis, who was looking for a female singer to do a cover version of Loving You. So Tony said to me, well, I just heard this girl sing today. She didn't really know that I was listening to her, but she can sing. So it was all, there were no mobile phones back then, so it was all done by letter, by landline phone number and all of that sort of thing. Anyway, long story short, Lloyd asked me if I could come and record the tune. So I went home and I told my parents, you know, I've been invited to the studio to record a record. And they said, you're not going anywhere. I said, what do you mean?
How old would you have been roughly?
I was about 18 at the time. But I was brought up in a family where if a boy wanted to take me out, they had to come and meet my parents.
Yeah, that's the right
and
way.
they had to ask permission. I come from that. That's where I come from. Right? So as far as my dad was concerned, this man ain't taking you to no studio until I see who he is. So Alton had to come and meet my parents, basically. And after they had the meeting...
How did that go down?
I don't know, I wasn't in the room. No. I wasn't allowed. There's big people talking.
Oh.
Yeah. She's only 18.
Yeah. Got me about 21.
Yeah, so got to be 30.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So anyway, it turned out that they said yes, and the rest is history.
Okay.
In terms of how I got started, because that was how I got started.
That's how you got started.
Yeah.
But obviously you met somebody who's... It was influential in the music
I just
business.
happened to be in the right
place.
at the right place at the right time, and throughout my career that's kind of been the thing with me, because I've never gone this, maybe, I don't know if there is a straight route, but...
I think that is the music business though, isn't it? It's who you know, and if you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, heard by the right person at the right time. And
there's no straight way into the music business.
Exactly. And I mean, it could have gone another way, because one of the guys in my class at school, he was in a group called, I don't know if you remember this from back in the day, it was in a soul group called Candidate. The 70s, I think they had to that in 76 maybe.
Okay. Well, you got the lappy.
Yeah, you can.
I'll Google session later, don't worry.
And I used to practice with them every now and again as well.
Okay.
So, you know, just with Terence on the keyboards.
Yeah.
So it could have been, I turned out to be an R&B singer. Although I don't class myself as
a lovers rock singer.
As a lovers rock singer, because as far as I'm concerned, I can sing anything. It's just that people haven't really heard me.
Yeah.
Not in the UK anyway, because I have done other tracks outside of the UK.
I think did you do some soul tracks back in the day?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you kind of ventured. I think a lot of reggae artists did venture into the soul as well.
Right, yeah. Well, after I did I Do Love You, which was recorded in '78,
Yeah.
and after I did Silly Games, I think I recorded this in 1980, a track called Eternally Grateful, which was a soul track,
Yeah.
which got to the bottom of the pop charts again. Didn't really rise very high, but at least it got there.
He got there.
Yeah, so yeah, and then there's other tracks that I've done on albums that were released only in Japan,
Okay.
not here, because I had a career in Japan as well.
Okay.
So what was that about then?
What was
What in terms of them only being released in Japan?
Because although I was signed to Sony Music for the World, I was signed via Japan, and they only dealt with me in their area. Yeah, so it was just Asia. But I did about 6 albums with them, and as I produced most of them, such a good combination.
Can I ask a question? I know you spoke about a number of songs. But what was it like as a young adult hearing one of your songs being played on the radio or a bar or a club or something like that? What was that experience like for you?
I think the first time I heard my tracks played on the radio was at the dinner table on a Sunday afternoon on Reggae 7. And then so my parents were there and it was like, oh my God. That was like a
big thing.
Quite a big thing.
Yeah.
Quite exciting.
And how did your parents respond to that, given their trepidation, their caution about this whole thing?
Yeah, my dad was more cool with it than my mum. As far as my mum was concerned, just get a good job.
They're in your book.
For real.
Yeah.
But for me, if I go out and I hear one of my tunes playing, it's like I shrink. It's like, oh, I have to.
That's now, right?
Your tunes.
But even then.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's just me.
Your tunes, listen, many of babies has come through your tunes, just to say.
I'm not responsible.
Your tunes, they just define that era. And when I was young, they defined, and that's how I got into the Lovers Rock, by hearing you and others like you. No, it's something to be proud of. What you've done, because to be named Queen of Lovers Rock, that's a title, and it was something what was UK.
Absolutely.
You remember, it wasn't Jamaican artists coming up. Obviously, Sugar Minor had something.
Well, the Jamaicans came over to become part of this movement. You know what I mean? So we had Dennis Brown, nobody better for me than Dennis Brown.
Yeah, that's right.
Best reggae male singer for me of all time. So, then there was Dennis, there was Sugar Minor, and there was Cool Ruler,
Gregory, yeah.
So a few of them came over to absorb some of this.
I don't think we realised what we had at the time.
No.
We didn't realise this was something big.
But did you realise that?
No.
Because, at that time, reggae music, if you like, that particular genre and hub was British and it exported everywhere. As you said, to the point where people from Jamaica coming over to the UK to taking people like yourself. Did you? I mean, you're a very humble person, given your accolades. But what was it like being around that? Because you'd have had a lot of people around you. Did you kind of see it all, or did it just go like?
It kind of went over my head. I wasn't a raver, so I didn't used to go out on weekends. And back in the day, I didn't do many shows either. Because as I said to you, I didn't have an agent, didn't have a manager. So a lot of what went on literally did go over my head. I didn't see it. I never saw it.
Were you looked after though, or were there kind of issues around? Because it's unfortunate, but the music industry is kind of notorious for kind of not looking after artists financially and stuff like that.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Okay, because obviously when you're young, you don't know anything about PRS and royalties and stuff like that.
And what you're doing is you're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
You absolutely love it. So any opportunity to, you know, put your voice down on something, you're going to go for it.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about the money, you're not thinking about all the other bits and pieces.
So when you saw your first contract, did you know what it was about?
I never had a contract like that.
No.
And the contracts...
She's laughing today. What contract are we talking about?
No, most of the tracks that I did in the early days, there was no contract.
So you never got no royalties off them then? Next, okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Yes, there was a few artists at the time.
I'm not the only one, you know.
No, I know.
So in response to that, I mean, it was consistent. Even with reggae music, it was kind of notorious.
Yes, even same in Jamaica.
But it's not only with reggae music. No,
so that you're correct. And for me, it's a kind of a worldwide thing, and it goes really, across.
Yeah, because I thought the Americans had it down pat, but they just suffered the same stuff that we've suffered. There's been people out there that have had hit records that have never seen a penny.
Well, even today.
And they die and they don't see a penny, and it is really tragic.
Yeah.
You know, so when people are out there, they're seeing artists and they think, oh, they live in a big house and they drive a big car, and they don't know, they don't know the personal struggles that you go through, and at the same time you've got to be smiling.
It's like I've had a record label in the past, and there's some artists I've recorded and they've heard their tracks on the radio, and the next day they rang me up for money, and I'm thinking it doesn't work.
Like that.
It don't work like that. Exactly, I'm trying to explain. It don't work like that. Well, as soon as people hear you on the radio or see you on TV, they think you've made it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just starting. That's just the beginning.
And you see that now with all the streaming. I mean, that is rubbish.
Because you're not earning off that.
You're not going to earn. You can't even buy cabbage from the money that you might make from selling 10,000 streams. You're not making any. You can't buy a cabbage.
No percent of whatever you're going to be getting. Is crazy.
And that is how people are consuming music at the moment. So, where does that leave us? And now we've got AI. You could sit.
You don't even have to be here. We could get a new job.
No, we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
Do you know what I mean? It's times have changed so much. It's like.
So basically, you would earn more off doing a live performance rather than
live performance is where it is. So you better be able to sing, otherwise you can't be a Milli Vanilli in this day.
Okay. So where did you learn your craft, stagecraft? Obviously singing, and because it can be quite nervous up there.
Learn by making my own mistakes, basically, because I had nobody to teach me. So I had to just look, watch, and learn. And go on stage and you make a mistake and you do blah blah. You think I'm never going to do that again. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now. Have you ever been booed?
No.
Brilliant. So you must be good.
I'm not saying I haven't had like a quiet audience where they've just sort of like.
Okay.
But I've never been booed. So
okay. Well, I would say that your songs have got longevity, because I was playing out last night with the DJ, obviously, and the last track I played was yours, and the whole place was still singing your track without the music.
What is it for you about your music, but obviously the kind of lovers rock genre, because that's transcended in a way that other types of music haven't.
Right, and the fact that it's not such a small genre, you wouldn't think so. But there's a sector of people that were brought up with that kind of music, and as a child, if you remember tunes that you remembered when you were small, they got a special place. They bring you back to a certain point in your life. You can smell things that you remember smelling at the time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it takes you down memory lane, and people like to go there.
Your tunes, if somebody's said hopelessly in love, they can remember who they were seeing when that tune was out.
There you go. Because at the time when we were writing that, and at the time that our audience were listening, they were falling in love for the first time, finding their life partner for the first time, having their first baby for the first time. I mean, it was the first thing, it was a first for a lot of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, I think nowadays people try to recreate that, but it's not the same at like 60 and 50 odd to when we was like 18 and 16 and 17. Yeah, that age group there, everything was fresh, as you say, and young and innocent. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. And that came out in the music because we were very green.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Most of us did.
But it was also the lyrical content.
Yeah.
But all of that was, again, that was very organic and very new. It was a new thing for us. You know.
Yeah. How did Dennis get into your music? Dennis Bobo.
I was recording I Do Love You, which I recorded for D-Row with her. And Dennis was the engineer.
Okay.
So at the end of the session, he said to me, he's got this song that he wants me to listen to, and if I like it, would I want to record it? So I said, all right, no problem. Finished the session and he played me the song. I said, yeah, it's all right. I wasn't, jumping about the studio. I just thought, yeah, it's okay. And we recorded it, and the rest was history, really.
Wow.
It's you don't know what you're going to create, and you don't know at the time when you create it what impact it's going to have next year or the year after that. Or sometimes you do something and you think, oh, well, it's just for this period of time, 6 months, and they'll forget about it. Do you know what I mean? But actually,
And can you tell the people what tune that was?
Silly Games.
That's the one I played last night. That is the one where I still got them going.
And it's like, is it 48 years or 46 years later, people are still singing it. So.
And young little children this high that would not, they would have been potentially grandchildren.
I mean, I've seen posts on Instagram of little girls singing. How do they know that? But their parents, their grandparents like it. They've grown up and they like it. And
there's a lot of artists that they've done big tunes like back in the day, and since then they've written tons of tunes, and when they go on stage they want to perform them. Now, do you get sick of singing the same songs over and over and over again, and you're thinking to yourself, but I've got this new tune, man, I don't want to sing that again.
Do you know what it is though? They don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
You might be able to put one or two in every now and then. I'll tell you what though, I recorded a version of Wishing on a Star.
Okay.
Which I recorded on one of my albums that was released in Japan. And then I put together a compilation album which I only had on Amazon. And one day I decided to sing that song. And the audience went crazy. And I thought, oh. And that's never been released as a single here or anything. But whenever I do a show, they love to hear that song. And it isn't one that, but it's now one that I have to sing all the time because people like to hear me sing.
Was it? So it's never been released?
Not on general release. No, it's only been.
Is it something that you would trigger your brain to say, this might be worth putting out there?
Yeah, but you see, again, we're in that thing, but putting it out there for it to go where? What on the streaming site? No.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It can stay on Amazon if people can get it.
Well, we've come to the end of the first half. She's not going nowhere. Stay tuned. We're back for part 2.